Hello boys and girls, my name is Jens Bogren and we are at Fascination Street Studios.
And my name is Christian KOHLE. Welcome to KOHLE Audio Cult. Today we are releasing a brand new course, a brand new masterclass featuring, you've seen it, my dear friend and colleague, legendary producer and mixer Jens Bogren from Fascination Street Studios and from BOGREN Digital, who has worked with countless amazing bands like Opeth, Creators, Soilwork, Paradise Lost, Amon Amarth, Sepultura, you name it. And I'm really excited to announce this masterclass. But of course, Jens is also known for making world-class sounding impulse responses. So I have asked him to share his knowledge and his wisdom and his experience about guitar tones, but especially about impulse responses in this masterclass. I've asked him to talk about his favorite gear, his favorite cabinets, microphones, mic placement, all that kind of stuff. And I've asked him to tell us how he creates his IRs, how he uses them, how he blends different IRs for walls of sounds, stuff like that, because I know that you guys out there, some of you mic real cabinets, I know that, but a lot of you guys actually use impulse responses these days, so this should be quite interesting for a lot of you to see how someone like Jens Bogren uses impulses. The full masterclass, the full course is going into my academy, KOHLE Audio Cult. Link below. Become a member if you want to watch the whole thing. But in this video, we want to watch Jens walk us through some of his favorite gear. And he's going to show us a technique he came up with called Beat the Mic that he uses on both real cabinets and microphones, but also on impulse responses. Very interesting stuff. All right, enough talking. Again, check the link below if you want to see more. Let's pass it over to Jens. Enjoy.
KOHLE Academy has asked me to talk to you about impulse responses or IRs, how to create them, how to use them, and maybe a few other tricks. If I should be perfectly honest, I haven't always been, that fond of IRs or impulse responses. I'm old, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've always gone the long route of miking the cabs and finding the microphones and always building up the sound from scratch for everything I do. But like 2 years ago, I was asked for the first time to create an IR, and I was quite impressed by how good you can get it to sound. Like virtually no difference between the IR and the real sound. Having the ability to work with IRs, to basically have dozens of super well recorded cabs that you can mix between and choose and really find the best fit for your song is an advantage that I cannot really say anything about. It is a very good tool. I get a lot of questions from people, what's my favorite cabinet, what's my favorite speakers, etc. That is a little tricky to answer because it really depends on what kind of production I'm doing. The ones that have sort of sticked with me through the years, I've had quite a turnover of different cabs and stuff. But the ones that are in the studio to stay for quite some time at least is probably the Mesa rectifier oversized cabinet with the vintage 30 speakers. It is a very, very solid and good cabinet for rhythm guitars. I also have some older Marshall ones that I don't really know what it is. It's probably some sort of Frankenstein versions. Some of them has like the Heritage greenbacks. I do have original greenbacks as well, 25s. I also have this, I know KOHLE likes this one as well, the Marshall MF400 cabinet. I've used it with its original speakers, but also modified with vintage 30s and some other stuff. Other cabs that I've been using quite frequently lately are the MLC cabs. It's a company that I've been working with quite a lot, and they have warehouse speakers in their cabs, and basically are building very high quality hardware. So no clear answer there, but yeah, if I would sort of have a desert island kind of cab, I guess it would be the rectifier oversized for rhythm guitars. One method here is to use the what I used to call beat the mic method that I usually use when I record real guitars. I would put up a bunch of microphones, then I would go into my control room and try them all and see which one or which combination of the ones that sounds the best. And then I would replace the ones that didn't make it until they sound better than the ones that I had. And then I can reposition the ones that I previously saved into something that hopefully can sound even better than the second round, until I sort of optimize things. So I want to talk a little bit about how to mic a cab. This is a 4x12 from MLC, and here are some of my favorite microphones. 57, it's usually in my guitar sounds, I would say. Royer 121, also a very, very nice ribbon microphone for guitar sounds, especially, I would say. Use it for drums as well. And then I have a custom modified SM7. For me, when it comes to metal, I prefer staying quite in the center of the cone. Maybe usually not exactly dead center, but that's probably my starting point at least. It could also be a pretty good idea to mark the center on your cab if you dare to use like a permanent marker for it. I haven't done so on this cab because it's a brand new one, but to help with that, I usually take a flashlight. And then I go about like this. Also have to take into consideration the angle of the actual speaker. And then I will find my center and I will start around that position. I will find my way where it sounds the best, and then I would also like try maybe a little bit off axis to see where it sounds the best. Something I'm also doing quite often is using a robotic mic stand. I have those from Dynamount, where you basically can dial in very precisely, even save positions and recall. Creates a few favorite positions and then just, again, scientifically prove them or test them against each other. Works really, really nice. And the beat the mic method can actually be used also for IRs, in my opinion. So the IR on itself is a pretty useless thing, but paired with the raw sound from an amp, where we disable the IR of that amp or cabinet, I would say the IR is the bigger part of the sound. Let me show you that in practice. So I'm gonna bypass Libra and we're gonna load up an amp sim here. Omega Ampworks, maybe. Let's check how this sounds just with the default setting. Sounds pretty good. A little bit low resolution maybe in the highs from my own personal preference. Also maybe a little too boxy. We're gonna have to see how that fits in the mix, of course. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to the cabinet section like this. And here they have the choice of two different microphones that you can blend. What I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna turn off those microphones, off and off. And now the whole cabinet section is actually off. So let's go back to Libra and unbypass that. Voila. What you could do then, with the help of Libra in this case, we could go to the IR browser. I'm in the rhythm pack here that I chose earlier on, 24-bit, 48 kilohertz. There's all kinds of weird names in here. I believe that it doesn't really make sense to label your IRs 57 or V30 or whatever, because it doesn't really tell you the whole truth of how it sounds. I prefer to go in like blindly. Not even I remember what this was, and it doesn't matter. What matters is how does it work in my mix. I don't want to have the bias of I'm supposed to think that the Mesa cab is the best sounding or whatever. I just want to, try the IRs in my production and find out what works the best in that particular situation. So what I can do here is that I can load these up. That's how you do it. So now I've loaded 8 of these. Go to the Cartesian mixer, and now we have a dot and 8 speakers. And I can move this freely around, and we are gonna be able to find the sound we want. Let's start with the one that I had first, the Viking ones. So as you can see, the character here is changing depending on how I pull this down the line. I choose some of my favorites. My favorite is probably tailored around the same ideas of sound. If I would like that to be a little bit more different, what I also could do here is to replace a few of them, maybe using the color pack. Let's put some of those in. Throaty Savage, beautiful. We could also, let's say, with a solo listen this and see which color ones we want to use. We pan the Cartesian mixer to slot C where we are and play back. That's nasty, I like that. And skip the Bold and Beauty one, choose another color one. Industrial Wrath. Let me pan that to slot B, so we can hear that. So now we have a pretty good variety here among our IRs. So let's check this out a little bit. So let's get this into the mix. What we cannot do is do this on both guitars at the same time. I'm gonna do it just on one side in the mix and see if I can find something I like. And then what I could do is repeat the process on the other side and not use the exact same IR. Because that is a very good trick to get the guitars, yeah, let's say that you have some resonances in an IR or some, imperfections. Instead of doubling those resonances and imperfections, you could find or use another IR on the other side. And they would sort of complement each other and make your sound wider and not as fatiguing as it sometimes can be with guitar sounds. So, pro tip. Okay, cool. So I think I like this one, Drop the Soap here. So for the other side here, I could also go with another amp maybe, like the amp knob, which has a little bit of a different technology here, and pair that together with that one is like a mix between mix ready and really nice to jam with. So I would probably need to boost a little bit of top end on that one. using Fab Filter EQ here, very technical, very nice sounding EQ, and just adapting them a little bit, get them in the same realm, and then we have a really wide, fat sounding guitar sound.
If you enjoyed what you've just watched, you might consider clicking the link below to my academy, KOHLE Audio Cult. Yeah, come there. It's cool, believe me, because not only do we have Jens Bogren's course there, we have tons and tons of other courses from other really cool producers, from me, also very basic courses about whatever, EQing guitars or compressing drums, stuff like that. You can download multi-tracks from different metal genres and mix them yourself. You can get a mix feedback from me if you mix a song. A lot of cool stuff. And finally, you can become a part of a really cool community. Isn't that amazing? It is. Yeah, check out the link below, become a KOHLE Audio Cult member, and be cool. I forgot to say that if you join now, you will also get a free IR pack from BOGREN Digital, including some of Jens's, some of my BOGREN Digital IR's world-class sounding guitar impulse responses, all included in your membership. Have I talked about the rotten pool verb? No, and you get a free plugin. Have you heard about the rotten pool verb? The meanest reverb ever. Yeah, you also get that. A lot of cool stuff. Check the link below. Another link to all the gear that Jens uses and the plugins and the IRs, blah, blah, blah. Enough talking. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to ring the bell. Leave a comment. Let me know how you like this video. Say hello to Jens. I see you in hell, my friends. I see you inside the cult. Motherfuckers. Bye-bye.